The neon lights of the city reflected off the wet streets like a million tiny stars. Flying vehicles zoomed overhead, and holographic signs flickered with advertisements in alien languages. Among the bustling crowd, a purple-skinned girl ran, her long hair streaming behind her. Her name was Lyra, and her heart pounded like a drum. "Stay calm. Stay calm," Lyra whispered to herself, clutching a small bundle tightly. Her eyes darted from side to side. She could feel someone following her. Detective Kale, a human undercover cop, moved quietly through the crowd. His dark coat blended with the shadows, and his sharp eyes scanned every face. Kale had been sent to monitor suspicious activity in the alien sectors of the city, but today something felt different. He noticed the purple girl, the one who seemed terrified, and decided to follow her discreetly. Lyra turned down a narrow alley, hoping to lose him. She slowed for a moment, pressing herself against the wall. That was when she saw her sister, Mina. The smaller girl looked confused and scared, clutching a small device that looked like it might explode if mishandled. "Mina, don't move," Lyra hissed, running to her side. Mina trembled. "Lyra, I didn't do anything wrong." "I know," Lyra said. "But they want you. They'll hurt you if we don't act fast." Kale watched them from a distance. He could see the fear in Lyra's eyes. He had dealt with criminals before, but something about this situation made him pause. He was human, and he knew humans could solve problems in clever ways. Arresting the girl without knowing the truth didn't feel right. Suddenly, a group of tall, armored aliens appeared at the end of the alley. Their glowing eyes scanned the area, searching. Lyra grabbed Mina's hand and ran, twisting through side streets, their footsteps echoing against the metal walls. "Please don't arrest my sister," Lyra shouted as she glanced over her shoulder. She didn't know if Kyle had hurt her, but she had to try. Kale's mind raced. He had a duty, yes, but he also had a choice. He could follow orders blindly, or he could help protect an innocent. Humans were known for thinking outside the box, and Kale knew this was a moment to act. Lyra ducked into a market full of alien vendors. The smell of strange spices and sizzling food filled the air. Holographic fruit floated above stalls, and small robotic cleaners zipped past. She hid behind a fruit stall, shielding Mina from view. Kale approached cautiously, keeping his hands visible to show he meant no harm. "I'm not here to hurt her," he said in a low voice. "I want to help." Lyra's eyes widened. "How can I trust you?" "You're human." Kale smiled faintly. "And humans are clever. Sometimes we can solve problems better than anyone else. Let me help you protect your sister." Lyra hesitated but then nodded. "Okay, but we have to move fast. They're not far behind." Together they slipped through the crowded streets. Lyra explained that her sister had accidentally gotten involved with a group of alien enforcers who smuggled dangerous technology. Mina didn't even understand what she had picked up. She had just wanted to play with it. Kale listened carefully. He admired the way Lyra thought quickly under pressure, setting small traps and creating distractions to slow down the enforcers. Humans and aliens worked differently, but in that moment their teamwork was perfect. They ducked into a narrow tunnel that led to the lower levels of the city. The air was cooler here, and strange glowing fungi lit their path. Kale could feel the tension in Lyra's shoulders. He decided to use his human ingenuity. He tapped a small device on his wrist, sending a signal that created a holographic decoy of the sisters running in another direction. The enforcers appeared at the tunnel entrance and froze. The hologram ran past them, drawing their attention. Lyra and Mina ran the other way, hearts pounding with relief. "We might make it," Lyra whispered, gasping for breath. Kale nodded. "We will, but we need a safe place, somewhere they won't think to look." They reached a small abandoned warehouse. Kale quickly scanned the area and confirmed it was secure. Lyra set Mina down on a crate. The younger girl clung to her sister tightly. "Thank you for not arresting her," Lyra said softly. "I didn't know who else to trust." Kyle looked at the girls. "Humans have a saying, we protect the innocent even when it's hard. That's what makes us strong." Lyra felt a strange warmth at those words. Humans were different, yes, but perhaps that difference could be a source of hope. Suddenly, a sound echoed from the shadows, a click, like a weapon being cocked. The enforcers had found the warehouse. Their glowing eyes pierced the darkness, scanning for movement. Kale moved in front of the girls. "Stay behind me," he commanded. His human instincts kicked in as he assessed the room for anything he could use to their advantage. Lyra looked at him, worried. "Are you going to fight them?" Kale smiled faintly. Sometimes humans fight with brains, not just brawn. Watch and learn. He tapped another device on his wrist, activating small drones hidden in the corners. The drones flew out, creating blinding lights and loud noises. The enforcers stumbled, confused and disoriented. Lyra saw how clever Kale was, thinking of every angle, using the city itself as a tool. "Go," Kale shouted. He grabbed Lyra and Mina's hands and led them through a side exit. The enforcers cursed in their alien language, but were too late. The sisters and the human cop vanished into the maze of streets. Finally, they stopped in a quiet alley. Mina hugged Lyra tightly, shivering. Lyra hugged her back and looked at Kale. "We owe you our lives." How can we ever thank you?" Kale shook his head. "No need, just stay safe. Humans may be clever, but we can't protect everyone all the time. You have to be careful too." Lyra nodded. She realized that humans were not just law enforcers. They were problem solvers, brave and willing to make hard choices. But even as they caught their breath, Lyra knew the danger was not over. The enforcers would not give up so easily. Mina's innocence had put them all at risk. And somewhere in the city, a new plan was already forming. One that would test the courage, intelligence, and trust of humans and aliens alike. Lyra held her sister close. "We can do this," she whispered. "We just need to be smart and brave." Kyle looked at the two sisters. "Then let's make sure we stay one step ahead. Together." The neon lights flickered above them and the distant hum of flying vehicles filled the air. The city was dangerous, but for the first time Lyra felt a small spark of hope. Humans, with their clever minds and fearless hearts, might just be the allies they needed in a world full of chaos. And with that, the three of them disappeared into the shadows, ready to face whatever came next. The city never slept. Neon lights reflected off wet streets and the hum of flying vehicles mixed with distant chatter. Lyra, Mina, and Kale moved cautiously through the shadows, their hearts still racing from the night's chase. The enforcers had not given up, and Lyra knew the danger was far from over. Kale stopped in a quiet alley. "We need a plan," he said. "Running won't protect your sister forever. Humans solve problems with brains, not just speed." Lyra nodded. "I know, but how do we stop them?" Kyle studied the surrounding buildings. "We use what's around us. The enforcers rely on their technology, but technology can also be their weakness. Humans have a way of turning any situation into an advantage." "Watch and learn." Mina clung to Lyra, wide-eyed. "Are we going to be safe?" Kale crouched down to her level. "Yes, but we have to work together. Trust me, and trust each other." The sisters followed Kale through a maze of narrow streets until they reached an abandoned warehouse. Kale tapped a small panel hidden in the wall and a secret entrance opened. Inside, the warehouse was filled with crates, broken machinery, and shadows perfect for hiding. "This will be our base for now," Kyle said. "From here, we can plan how to deal with the enforcers without putting anyone in danger." Lyra set her sister down and took a deep breath. "Kale, why are you helping us?" "You could have arrested Mina or me, but you didn't." Kyle smiled faintly. "Humans have a saying, protect the innocent even when it's hard. That's what makes us strong. Sometimes courage is more than fighting. It's knowing when to think and act smart." Lyra looked at him with new respect. "I didn't know humans could be like that." Kale tapped a small device on his wrist. "They can be, but now we have work to do." He connected the device to the warehouse's old computer system. Lights flickered as the screen came alive. Kale quickly accessed the city's security cameras and located the enforcers. They were preparing to move Mina to a hidden location controlled by a crime lord. "They're planning to sell her tech to someone dangerous," Kyle said. "We need to stop them before it's too late." Lyra's eyes widened. "Can we do it?" Kale nodded. "We will. But we must be clever, and we must act together. Humans have a way of seeing solutions others miss. Watch closely." The plan began. Kale sent small drones into the streets, creating holographic illusions of Lyra and Mina, running in different directions. The enforcers were confused, chasing false images, while the real sisters moved safely through side passages. "Humans are amazing," Lyra whispered. "You think of everything." Kale chuckled. "It's not magic. Just logic and strategy. Always look for the advantage." As they approached the crime lord's warehouse, the tension grew. Guards patrolled the perimeter, and security drones scanned the skies. Lyra's heart pounded, but Kale remained calm. He had studied human history and knew humans often succeeded by staying calm under pressure. "Follow me," Kale whispered. "We go in from above. He led the sisters to a roof that overlooked the warehouse. Using a small device, he created a temporary EMP pulse that disabled the drones and cameras. The guards were caught off guard and the path below was clear. Lyra looked at Kale in awe. "This is incredible. Humans are really smart," Kale smiled. "We have to be. That's why humans can face any challenge." They climbed down carefully, hiding behind crates and machinery. Mina held tightly to Lyra's hand, trusting her sister and Kale completely. Together they moved like shadows toward the central warehouse where the crime lord awaited. Inside, the crime lord, a tall alien with metallic armor, was examining Mina's small device. "This is perfect," he said. "With this, I can control the entire trade network." "The enforcers did well to bring it here," Kale observed from the shadows. He noticed the structure of the building and the placement of guards. Humans often succeeded by noticing details others ignored. Using a small gadget, he created a series of distractions. Lights flickered, alarms beeped, and small explosions echoed in safe zones. The guards rushed to investigate, leaving the crime lord alone with the device. Lyra and Mina approached carefully. "We have to get that device back," Lyra whispered. Kale nodded. "I'll handle him. You focus on staying safe and helping Mina." With precision, Kale moved forward, using his human agility and strategic thinking to distract the crime lord. He dodged the alien's attacks and managed to grab the device. Lyra and Mina ran toward the exit as Kale covered their retreat. The enforcers realized the trick too late. Kale had outsmarted them at every step, proving that human intelligence and courage could overcome brute force. The sisters escaped with the device, disappearing into the city streets once again. Breathing heavily in a quiet alley, Lyra looked at Kale. "You saved us." "Humans really are special," Kale shook his head. "Humans have strengths, yes. But courage, teamwork, and quick thinking are not limited to humans. You both were brave too. Without you, the plan wouldn't have worked." Mina smiled shyly. "I was scared, but I knew Lyra and Kale would protect me." Lyra hugged her sister tightly. "We did it together. And Kale, thank you for showing us that humans can be allies, not just strangers." Kale looked around the city, lights reflecting off his face. The galaxy is full of danger. But humans, with their brains, courage, and determination, can make a difference. We may not be the strongest, but we find ways to succeed. "That's the human edge," Lyra nodded. She realized something important. Humans were clever, resourceful, and willing to fight for what was right. She had always believed aliens were strong, but now she saw that humans brought something equally powerful: intelligence, strategy, and heart. The sisters and Kale walked through the neon streets, blending into the crowd. The city was dangerous, but for the first time they felt hope. Together they had faced impossible odds, outsmarted powerful enemies, and protected the innocent. Lyra looked at Kale. "What now?" Kale smiled faintly. "Now we stay ready. The world is full of challenges. But humans, when they use their minds and their courage, can face anything. And together we can protect those who cannot protect themselves." The city hummed around them, full of life, danger, and endless possibilities. Lyra held her sister's hand tightly, grateful for the human who had shown them the true meaning of courage and cleverness. In that moment, she knew one thing: humans were special not just for their strength, but for their heart, their intelligence, and their unwavering determination to do what was right. And somewhere deep in the city, a new adventure awaited, one that would test humans and aliens alike, but with courage, brains, and teamwork, they were ready for anything.